is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday and welcome back to NC to Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts, and today, like every single day, coming at you live from our studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have a packed show today. We are talking about one of our favorite people in the space, or not technically not in our space, that's trying to get into our space by just shoving herself in there, and that is none other than Elizabeth Warren. What is the latest thing she said about crypto and what the government wants to do? We also have an update on Voyager. We have an update on Mt. Gox. Payouts are coming this month. What does that mean? But first, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale cryptocurrency information and we package it up in fun and sexy ways and try to entertain you all at the same time. So,
you know who never ceases to...
Me?
No. You know who never ceases to entertain us or never does not entertain us? It's our president. So every day it seems like we can find a clip of Joe Biden saying some stuff. And so I found one for today.
Are you taking a nap?
No. Speaking of unspeakable things that his nurse used to do to him. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play the video. Rocco? Here we are, President of the free world, Joseph Robin Biden.
And I had a nurse named Pearl Nelson, military. She'd come in and do things that I don't think you learn in medical school, nursing school. She'd whisper in my ear. I couldn't understand her. She'd whisper, she'd lean down. She'd actually breathe on me to make sure that there was a connection, a human connection. She even went home and brought back her pillow from her own bed because she knew the one I had, the one comfortable. But I'm not joking. And I had a nurse who knew the one I had, the one comfortable. In bed because he knew the one I had, the one comfortable.
What is happening? I don't care if you are a...
This is the president of the United States of America.
If you're a fan of Joe Biden, cool, yeah, man. But we got to all be on the same page here.
I don't care if this dude was a Republican and independent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You cannot vote for this dude again, man.
Please.
Just because...
For his sake.
Like, he's mumbling about his little heart-on with a freaking nurse.
What? What? Why is he? I know. No.
She whispered in my ear.
She breathed on me, so there's human connection. And then she went home and grabbed her pillow.
And then he just mumbled a bunch of weird. I promise you, we're not like Republicans. I'm telling you, I probably voted more Democrat nominees in the last election because I was simply voting after who would represent crypto the best, who was most pro crypto. And I think
you voted wrong.
I voted more on the Democrat side than I did on the Republican.
That's not the point, though. The point is,
but this
we
guy,
have a
man,
president
he's
of the United States. You imagine him on the phone with Vladimir Putin. Yeah, if you send tanks to Ukraine, he's like, all right, got it. He said it's fine if thanks to Ukraine. All right, that's some more funny. This is why you don't want to be late to the stream, guys, because you're going to get your giggles in the beginning. So,
what is that, Dave?
Oh, we got. Why are you giggling so much?
What is that?
You had the giggles today, huh?
In Japan, this is a new kissing device that allows users to lock lips through their cell phone.
Is this a Web3 project?
Yeah. There's a token coming soon.
Smooth kiss potion. Is there a video for this, or is it?
No, just a picture.
Still,
yeah. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? Would you ever use this if you were like long distance? Say you're away from your wife for a week. Just want to feel your lips, baby. Over here making out with your phone. I don't know. Someone tweeted, Mario Nafal tweeted this, said, is this the beginning of the end of human interaction? Sure looks like it.
It's human innovation at its best here. So,
And then, so check this out. It's not as funny. Well, I guess it can be funny. This is from Eleanor Tourette on Twitter. The SEC said it will not be speaking this year at an annual conference well known in legal circles.
damn it.
As a result, it's being canceled. So they have spoken at this event every single year. And this year, they're so busy protecting investors, filing lawsuits that they will not make it. Robin, we both, I used to work out a lot. You start working out again. What is the reason for a spotter, right? When you're bench pressing and you have a spotter above you, what's the purpose of that?
Just make sure you don't kill yourself.
Make sure you don't kill yourself, right? To protect you. If, you don't have the strength to go back up. And what is, in theory, the job of the SEC? What they say they always do is to protect investors. Well, this is more like what the SEC is doing. This spotter here, And now might be a good time to help us, SEC. Nope. No, I'm just going to stand there. All right. Yeah, figure it out yourself. So this is how the SEC, this is from Wolf of All Streets, said the SEC helping protect customers. What are your thoughts on this? You think it's a pretty good analogy or what?
Yeah, man.
Well,
good.
Yeah. What?
Got the cricket back.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I'm
It was
sure
good,
the
it was
chat
good.
funny. Guys, did you find that funny? How the SEC protects us? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Robin just doesn't have a sense of humor. All right.
Did that guy kind of look like Anthony Pompliano, didn't he?
Not Anthony.
No.
All right. Let's get into the markets. Robin, you and your dry personality, take it away.
Thank you. All right, so taking a look at the markets, we got Bitcoin coming in at 23,700, which is a little higher than we were yesterday, and we've been taking a look at this chart here over the last. Been looking at this chart over the last 7 days, and
any new patterns, Robin, that you've coined?
No, we just stair stepping our way up.
Okay.
We did drop down to test the 23K mark right here, bounced right off of it, and so at 23.7, so sitting a little higher than we were yesterday, the day before, and the day before. So looks like we're on the right trajectory to go back up and test the 25K mark. Taking a look at the 1 month, you can see how we got here. This is the 3 month. And you can see that we're in a pretty good spot for the year. I think 20K is out the window. I know we kind of talk about this at least once a week.
20K is out the window?
Yeah, under 20K.
Oh.
What do you think?
Dude, bonds, the securities market in the US, the US securities, you can get 5% on a 2-year note. That's insane, bro. That's insane. So,
but don't you remember like when you were saying that in the bear market, Bitcoin was going to rally because you'd be stupid not to buy it at this price? And I was like, well, hedge funds would always tell you to, be smart. And you're like, well, you should probably take risk. You don't believe that anymore?
It's not that I don't believe it. But when you're looking at, okay, the only risk-free asset is giving me 5% return.
Exactly.
Versus any risk-on asset, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be stocks.
And we had so many arguments over what was going to happen to Bitcoin in the bear market when it came to venture capitalists and hedge funds and people either buying Bitcoin when it was cheap or buying risk-free assets, right?
Correct.
And boy, you were on that.
If you would have told me, hey, you can get 5% on 2-year note, then I
was at 4% when we were arguing.
It was not at 4%.
It was at 4%.
No, it was not. You're a liar.
Sometimes I just like to reflect on how smart I am compared to my co-host.
Wow.
Yeah.
So smart. So smart. Can we get a round of applause for Robin's brain?
Yes, please. Rock out.
This is for Robin's brain. Good job, Chase.
Guys, let's get some action in the chat. If you're new here, say hello so that way we can get a hola back at you. We do have a couple new whale members, so if you stay tuned to the end of the show, you will see your names in the credits. I think that is Biomax. We also got Redman, and then who's the last one? Big Swole. Yeah. So then all three of y'all will see your names in the credits at the end of the show. So once again, thank you for supporting.
What's the idea behind having their names in the credits? Is it because they're essentially part of Sin City Crypto? Because
they're a whale member, man. You're fully committed, man. Part of the team, baby. Big shout out to you guys. And then, and if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an lot back at you. We do have a couple new people, not that many today. We got Seekriz with a 1Z at the end. We also have Cody, and then we got Keith Bosher, Shizzy DeFi, to all of you, and Crypto Trends as well, to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Before we move off of Bitcoin,
what's up?
Let's look at the chart. Guys, it's nothing new, right? This trend line's been on here for a week, and we just keep bouncing off this trend line. But here's a possible downside risk, right? We have been putting in lower lows, obviously, and now we've just put in a higher high on the 4 hour. So what does that mean? That means we
50K?
No, that means we're in a uptrending broadening wedge. So those typically do break to the downside. If we hide this and we throw on our lovely cloud, we are kind of in no man's zone right now. We're trading within the cloud. And so it might consolidate here for a little bit. You can see every time it enters the cloud, it either makes a drastic move to the upside or downside, or it will consolidate. And so it looks like this is getting ready to consolidate. We should see support right at 23,100. Or if we do go back up, you can see this wick here. This was just 8 hours ago.
You said it could either move to the upside, downside, or consolidate. Is there different options?
Saying chances are it's going to consolidate when it's in the cloud. Yeah, there's a lot of options. You can see here, though, this wick here tested the upper bounds of the cloud, got immediately rejected. And so if we do look to break, look for 23.9 to be extreme resistance. If we do break above that, we want to see a retest of this cloud, make support on top, and then go from there. So I guess we'll see how it plays out. If we continue to make higher lows and higher highs, we are those do typically break to the downside. How far down? I would say 22. What number is it? 22.3 would probably be the next level. You have a lot of confluence as far as support and resistance there. Wick down there a few times back in January, mid to late January. And then, of course, here where we consolidated and before we saw that big run up from 22K to 25.2. So keep money on the sidelines, because if we break below this cloud and we start consolidating and settling right at 22,000 or 21,800 to 22,000, that's where you're going to want to buy. And then set your take profit right below 23,400. Now, financial advice, do your own research. Okay. Send it back over to you.
All right. So taking a look at some of the biggest gainers for the day, we have Maker Dow up 16% on the 24 hours, up full 25% on the week. Also, Conflux is well up 16%. This did have a pretty big pullback this week as well. As you can see, down 13%. And Filecoin back on the move again, almost up a full 10%, along with Fetch AI, which is a AI-based project, back in the top 100. And then Convex Finance also up here as well, Aptos. And some of the biggest losers for the day, we have NIM. What is NIM? Do you know what this is?
Nemesis.
Yeah, no XEM. Idea. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've seen it forever. And anyways, Clayton, Immutable X, and Floki Multiverse X are also informally known as Elron, all down as well.
What a terrible rebranding name that was.
Multiverse X.
It was horrible.
I feel like they're losing market cap for the simple fact that they changed their name. Most people don't recognize them. Or is that just me?
I mean,
what's the year to date here? For a project in the top 40, hasn't really pumped too much. So it's number 46. So if you take a look at some comparable projects, let's just take Theta, for example, at 48. Let's take a look at the year to date. Pretty similar. Yeah, I don't know. Are you a fan of Elron?
No.
No?
No.
Because they changed their name?
It's actually Multiverse X. I was never a big Elrond guy. Did a deep dive on him. Wasn't really impressed. Same old song and dance. Faster throughput, security, transactions. We solved the trilemma. Every layer one says that.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of Elrond haters popping up in the chat, man. Telling you.
There's really... I mean, I've never... Is there an Elrond community?
Okay. If there's anybody here that is well-versed in Elrond, put a 1 in the chat. If you know anything about Elrond, put a 1 in the chat. If you know nothing and you don't care, put a 2 in the chat. Thank you. I want to know.
Or if you know a little bit and don't care, put a 3 in the chat.
What's your vibes on Elrond? 1 good, 2 bad.
All right. Take a look. Let's take a look at some token.
What you got?
So I'm gonna make this a little bigger. So this website is called token.unlocks.apps. And I want to give a shout out to Redman. He didn't post this website, but he posted token unlocks in our Discord. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep an eye on these. So I found this website. So shout out to you, Redman. And this kind of breaks down all the different projects that their tokens are unlocking. How much of it has all their tokenomics. And so a couple I want to highlight. So Moonbeam, GLMR, which is a parachain on Polkadot, 25% of their tokens are locked and about $90,000 per day is becoming unlocked. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is, well, look at this one. Aptos, 85% of their tokens are locked. You want to talk about inflation? Their next big token unlock is going to be in 10 days, so expect some volatility there. But IMX, right? You talked about IMX being in the top losers, correct?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
$700,000 a day of tokens that are being unlocked. And if we click here, you could take a look at how these token unlocks are happening. So you can see here the next unlock event is in 23 days, where a little less than 1% of their tokens will be unlocked. That includes project development and private sales, aka private sales, aka their investors. You can see their token unlock schedule here. So looks like a majority of the token unlocks are going to be, what's this? No, not ecosystem development right here.
You know, there was not a
ecosystem
single one in the chat. That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Elon doesn't really have a community. I could be wrong. Private sales and private sales and foundation reserve, those are starting to tick up as well. So something to keep an eye on. But what's worse than this one is optimism. Look at this. Look at OP, bro. $6.6 million a day being unlocked.
Damn.
So this is definitely going to have some negative pricing.
Fan of optimism?
Yeah, I like what they do. I think their tokenomics are complete trash.
But the token doesn't do anything. The token is for governance only.
Right.
So I mean, you're the one. You're the one that's always preaching utility. So essentially, it's a governance token. It doesn't really do anything. And
governance tokens have utility.
But you use no. That is the utility. Is the governance. Like outside of that, you pay for gas with ETH. You use optimism token for governance, and you earn it as rewards. Right. That's it. And so I'm not saying that's a bad business model, but is it something that competes with the likes of the layer ones? No. And so I don't think it'll ever be, or do you think it could compare to Polygon? Now, Polygon, obviously, their token is more than just governance. So, do they need to expand? Do they need to expand? Like, is it necessary? Or is that just their thing? They just got a governance token and just don't ever expect it to crack the top 50 for that simple reason.
I'm curious what Arbitrum is going to do with their airdrop. So once their token is out, is Arbitrum going to do the same thing? Or I don't see that happening because
man. What are you going to...
I don't know. I think Arbitrum will run its own, will use its own token for gas. I mean, you kind of be stupid.
I don't think it is. I think their token is supposed to be
just a governance token.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But here's the thing with OP, right? How many $1 million did I say was coming unlocked every single day?
6.8
million dollars, and that's not even the worst of it. If we go back to the laptop here, you can see. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay, so right around June of this year, all the core contributor and investor tokens are going to be unlocked. And here you can see right here.
Yeah, Arbitrum uses Ether for paying gas fees, or will.
Will? Okay, now obviously it does because they don't have their own token. But once they have their own token, is that going to change?
That's what it says here.
So that's only going to be good for governance?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's at launch. And then maybe it could change later.
Yeah, maybe. I'm still bullish on Arbitrum.
I mean, it has a space. It's like saying, are you bullish on Uniswap? Like, okay, the Uniswap token is essentially a governance token that people can also get paid rewards in, that they can, leverage into liquidity. But realistically, the Uniswap token is only used for governance. But we did see it get crack in the top 25, I think, during the last bull run. And so, is there value there? I don't see it having long-term value compared to the layer ones that the token is used for minting NFTs, for paying for gas fees, for operating the network, for staking. It just has a wide range of. Would you rather invest in Amazon, or would you rather invest in Apple in the early days, or in no, not NVIDIA. I was just gonna say it's something that's built on top of it on iOS. So yeah, would you rather invest in Netflix or in Apple? That's kind of where I get at. Yeah, Netflix uses Apple. I'm trying to think of like a native app. Maybe Photoshop, or what is it? Adobe. Yeah, because Adobe originally launched only on Apple, and then it expanded later on. But you would still want to own Apple if you could pick. Hey, would you rather invest in Adobe or in Apple in the 1990s? You would obviously pick Apple, right? It's kind of the same. It's the same premise here. And you can either build on the layer one on the platform that everything gets built on. You can invest in that. You can invest in the Ethereum. You can invest in the Cardano. You can invest in the Avalanche, or you can invest in the apps that are being built on it. And for me, I always look at, hey, what's going to give me the most returns long term? It's going to be the base layer. It's going to be the Windows. It's going to be the Google, the Amazon. That's where the money's going to be made. Now, maybe you can hit a home run on an Uber. Maybe you can hit a home run on an Airbnb. Yeah. But how many millions of apps came out during that time? And how much did you had to spread yourself thin to hit a home run on one of those? And so you got millions of apps with only a handful that are going to succeed, or you got a handful of platforms, aka layer ones, the Apple, the Google, and there's a couple that died out, but essentially less risk there, right? You had IBM, which didn't perform quite as heavily, didn't perform as well as Apple. You had a couple other ones, Linux as well. That one died out. That was another operating software. Linux. So, I'm not to say that there wasn't any risk, but, you had maybe 10, 20 different major tech sectors that everybody was building on, or platforms everybody was building on in the early days. And half of those, or maybe 30, 40% of those, are the giant companies that we have now. Or you can look at all the millions of apps that have been built on top of these and then hope you land the Uber or the Netflix or the Airbnb. For me, the waters are less murky when it comes to layer ones, because anybody can build a layer two. Anybody can come in and build the next Optimism competitor, the next Uniswap competitor. Anybody can build one, as long as you build it right on top of the same thing. We saw it with MySpace. Okay, cool. Here, MySpace is popular, and then all it takes is Facebook to come in.
Here's the thing, though. We've also seen layer ones be built via forks, right? So anyone can go fork Ethereum blockchain. And build layer one.
But here's the thing: you got to grow that community, and you got to grow so you can fork Bitcoin, but it ain't Bitcoin, right? It'll have some immediate value, but people aren't going to be building on it. Nobody's building on Ethereum Classic anymore.
You can argue
Nobody's
the same for
building
layer
on
twos,
ETH
right?
proof of work.
People got to build. Polygon didn't just like become the number one
But
layer
5
two
years,
by not.
5 years from now, is there going to be somebody? Is there going to be an ETH fork that takes over ETH?
Probably not.
Exactly. But 5 years from now, there could be another Uniswap that's more popular than Uniswap. There's going to be another OpenSea competitor that's more popular than OpenSea.
Already happened.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that there is more replacement happening on the layer 2 side, on the dApp side, on the utility side versus the layer 1. And that's all I'm kind of preaching, is that you want a return on investment. You might not get as high a return, but it's pretty sure bet. Would you, like I said, would you rather invest in Apple in 1990 or in 20 apps that were built on Apple in 1990? Not knowing which ones are going to pop off. You got, hey, this LimeWire, man. Everybody's using LimeWire, bro.
You leave LimeWire out of this.
Wait till LimeWire's offering a subscription service. Just imagine all the millions of people that use LimeWire. Now they're going to be paying for it. Just saying, bro.
LimeWire was the worst. So many
Napster, LimeWire.
So many bugs.
I mean, think about give me one app or dApp, and the only one I can think of is Adobe, that made it out of the 90s or the early 2000s. Everything else kind of disappeared, man.
You know what I was doing in the early 90s? I was playing in the sandbox on the beach. You were working.
I had that green screen computer. I was playing Oregon Trail with the keyboard, bro. Boy, I had the big old floppy disks, the ones that actually were floppy. I'm telling you.
Speaking of floppy, let's talk about Solana real quick before we move on to our.
That's a floppy chain right there.
So I was watching George this morning, Cryptos R Us, and he pulled up the Solana's plan to improve the network upgrades. Okay, and I'm just sitting there listening to him, and I'm like, what? And what he was saying, and so I decided to pull it up myself. And I'm taking a look here. So what is Ethereum and Cardano, right? What happens before you upgrade to a new operating system, right? You have testnets.
You run multiple testnets. And
what if I told you in the last upgrade, Solana didn't do that? It just went straight from one upgrade to the next on the mainnet.
What if I told you I'm not surprised?
What if I told you it's true? So improve the upgrade process. Core engineers will work with validators to improve the software release process. Previous releases followed a certain pattern, like the one for 1.14, which was as follows. Mainnet beta validators run the previous one. Testnets run the new one. DevNets run the new one. Mainnet blah, 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 blah. So pretty much testnet. And that didn't happen for this upgrade.
It sounds like, you ever seen, okay. So here's the thing. Like I used to have a gambling problem, right? And well, I still do, but I just don't gamble anymore. But once you're down and you're down to that last $20, you're like, I don't care. You get even more dumber because you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm already down. Like whatever, man. I'll just throw it out there. And Solana been down, bro. Solana been down, and they're just like, you know what? I mean, what else could go wrong? You know what? Testnet, screw it. We don't need it. Just, we're already down. Nobody likes us. Our network keeps going out. Where everyone makes fun of us. Who cares? Just launch it. Hopefully it goes well.
This is
right. Tell me that's not. Tell me that's not how it works, bro. Tell me.
No, you're right. But this is not good. This is not a good look. I'm sorry. This is not a good look. Look, I'm not a blockchain developer. I'm not a founder of a project. But if you take a look around what everyone else is doing, all the successful projects are doing, like what is going on here? How do you upgrade your code, upgrade your blockchain and not test it? Like, I'm sorry, man.
Sounds kind of foolish, right?
I try to stay neutral in my opinions. I don't think about emotionally. I just look at, all right, when Solana goes down, I've come on the show and I said people are still building on it, money's still flowing, blah, 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 right? Because it is. You look at facts. It's a fact. Extremely irresponsible or just ignorant. I don't understand what it is, but it's definitely not a good look. This definitely makes me less bullish on Solana.
Both irresponsible and ignorant. And no matter what
But
their
is it
no matter
arrogant?
what their motive was.
Could it be arrogance?
Yeah,
though?
that's what I'm saying. Ignorant and arrogant, I think, kind of run hand in hand.
Well, ignorant is you don't know. Arrogant is like, nope, it's gonna work. There's no issues with it. It's gonna work.
No, they're ignorant to the fact that it could not work.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, but that also goes with arrogance, because sometimes you're so arrogant that you're just like, there's no way that I'm gonna fail, bro. Like, and also you can have ignorance, be like, there's no way I'm gonna fail. Like, bro, you do realize you can fail. No, like, and so no.
What
chance.
does the chat think?
And
Is this concerning for you guys? Put a 1 if this concerns you. Put a 2 if it's no big deal.
you know,
It is mainnet beta. That is a test net. I don't buy that.
Demir, yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, bro.
So
When you hold on. When you have millions of people, when you have people's millions of dollars on the line, you run it the proper way. You don't run it on your mainnet where everything happens and say, "Oh, well, it's a beta." I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me on that.
David, you've changed so much, man.
What?
We used to have so many arguments where you used to beat this beta drum, and I'm just like,
No, it was. I beat
and
it
you're
as
like,
a joke.
but it's in beta.
As a joke. It was a joke. That's the point.
Mm.
The point is a joke. Solana is not going to hit 1K by 2026. Who the hell said that? I don't know, man. Charles talks about it all the time, and I'm not trying to sound like a Cardano homer, but you have millions of people's money. Like, they're dollars. They're hard-earned investments. Crypto projects, founders that have spent years and their life savings and resources building a project to be on your network. You can't treat it as a playground. You know what I'm saying? You want to upgrade and stuff, do it the right way. Do it on a test net where if you do make a mistake or there is a flaw, it's not going to affect people's money. Think about all the people that had trades in, that got margin called, that they couldn't provide more liquidity. They couldn't do anything on Solana on the mainnet. Nothing. All because you didn't want to run a test net. It just doesn't make sense to me. And this whole thing, it's a beta. That's why I don't buy that. I think that's completely
it's all tech, man. It's not like this is native to blockchain. This is just standard protocol for technology. Is that you build a beta? Like it's not even technology. It's just how life works. You don't build a roller coaster and then run it for the first time with people in there. Like you don't build a website and then make a commercial for it without testing it out. Like it is, video game developers do it, software developers do it. It's a part of life. You don't go sell the newest Mustang without testing it for 1,000 miles on the road. It's just how things work. You offer a product, you test it, and you see if it breaks. You put it in a real world experience to see if it works. You've seen the mattress commercials where they keep dropping the little hammer, the big hydraulic hammer on the mattress, and they're like, we tested it, 10,000 hammer drops on this thing. And then I'm just saying that every industry does it. Why on earth would the industry that is the most prone for failure, which is crypto? I'm sorry, it is pretty damn prone for failure. There's no shortage of examples of failure, so it's not like people didn't know it could happen, and yet they just say, "Nah, we're good. Just YOLO."
And if you're a Solana homer, just take your emotion out of it, okay? Take your feelings, right? Think like an actual investor, okay? If this is not a concern for you, why? If you were one of those project founders, an NFT project that was getting ready to launch or that was launching, okay? And you spent countless hours and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars building your project on Solana. And then due to negligence, this network goes down and your project, hey, you get one chance at a first impression, right? Why? Explain to me why. I know there's a lot of Solana homers out there. There's a couple in our chat. Tell me why this is not a big deal. Tell me why. If you give me one solid answer, I will say it on the stream and I will say, okay, you're right. Give me one. Give me one.
First to market, bro. That's how they got to where they are, right?
It's not about I'm talking about
I'm
now.
just saying that. Oh, well, they're still trying to be first to market. Why not release a test net, right? If they're not going to release a test net, there's a reason for it. Okay, I mean, why would they not release a test net? Because they're trying to get that product out as fast as possible. They're trying to be first to market. And we saw how quick Solana hit the streets before. And so that's been their business model. It's not anything new. And you know what? They got a lot of early investment. They got in during the bull run. They got in during the bull run last time. And if they would have taken the time to build and not released at the early days, then yeah, it would have been interesting. So yeah.
I found a video. It's a video from how to stress mattress.
How to stress a mattress?
Yeah, make sure it is good. And like you were saying, the armor.
Okay,
So,
let's see it.
yeah. It seems like that's the right way to do it. So,
Okay.
so let's see it.
Yep, it's good. No strings broken.
Cane peel there. Yeah.
I can play the audio. I don't play the audio because I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna.
This is gonna be copyrighted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Comedy
let's watch
Central will catch it real
let's get out
fast.
of it.
So, yeah.
It's okay. We'll just clip it.
Comedy Central's the quickest to pull anything.
Robin,
down.
I'm so happy.
I'm just saying for South Park and Dave Chappelle, like the second you play any of that, it's.
I am so happy you said Comedy Central because we're about to get into some Comedy Central. So yesterday, Senate Banking and Housing and Urban Affairs Committee, right, which Elizabeth Warren sits on, they had a hearing, Senate hearing.
And then real quick, before we just jump in this, I just want to give a little love to the chat real quick. Sorry about the interruption here. But if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. And then also make sure you guys hit that like button. We got Crypto Music, Press O'Neill, Puddles, John Foster Crypto, ZH Demir. We also got Talladega, Mike Play, and TJ. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get this thing well over 100. Also, we got a €10 super chat from ya boy Kazuma. He says,
What is that gif, bro? What is that?
Okay. That's the Vitalik jump, bro.
Oh man, okay.
So we got Kazuma X says, I just like the token and I got inside info on 10 tokens, but I'm not allowed to say sorry.
Come on, bro. Give us the insight, man. What's the point?
There's money to be made.
Give
in
us
Solana,
the insight,
man.
bro.
Like, here's the thing. Like, if you want to take the risk of it, that's fine. There's money to be made there. There's also money to be lost. Or money to be lost elsewhere because other assets outperform it. So it just depends on what your investment strategy is.
And I don't want Solana to go away. No one wants. I don't care either way if Solana goes down. Like if Solana goes away,
just test your product before you launch it. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying is that like if you're gonna have a major fork or an upgrade, just test it out, man.
I hope Solana makes it. You know why? Because this space is so new and needs competition and needs people to succeed.
Just test your product before you launch it. That's all we're saying.
All right. So back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. So Senate hearing. This was what the hearing was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about Ukraine, China, Russia. And so here is just the beginning. So this is Chairman Sherrod Brown, crypto hater. So this is the video, and he kind of explains what this hearing is going to be about, okay?
2 years with Ranking Member Scott, and I'm confident we will. Today in this hearing, we have a chance to take that first step by examining how we use our economic toolkit to advance the breadth of issues that impact our U.S. national security and foreign policy. We must use these tools we have to deter or disrupt behavior that undermines our economy. We need to do.
Okay. So I'm just going to go to the very first person on the Senate hearing, who's Senator Scott, okay?
Started increasing its exports of energy because we increased our energy production. That would
talking about our exports and we increased energy production. Okay, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. We're just going to go to this guy right here. This guy. Let's see what he has to say.
5 miles.
I can't remember off the top of my head, and I apologize.
That's important to know. And this, by the way, would not only ban that, it would ban it all. Because quite frankly, I'm going to tell you, and I don't want to speak for Senator Rounds, I don't think China, North Korea, Russia, or Iran gives a damn whether we exist or not. So why should we allow them any entrance into our country? Because
talking about allowing them the entrance into the country, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'll give you one more example, just so you get an idea of what this hearing is about, and then what Elizabeth Warren spent her entire 5 minutes talking about, okay? Here's the last one.
I have an idea.
Yeah, in America. I get all that. But what are we waiting on? I mean, the longer we wait, I think it's becoming clearer and clearer that Putin has misjudged the people of Ukraine.
Yes.
And it's becoming clearer and clearer that President Xi has misjudged.
They're talking about the war in Ukraine and Russia, okay? And here is none other than the Honorable Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, who has been in office for God knows how long, and who will stay in office for God knows how long. And literally, she had 5 minutes, and this was her 5 minutes in its entirety, okay?
I love her.
Ransomware has hit everywhere. Ransomware has hit everywhere. In the past 3 months alone, ransomware attacks have shut down 4 public schools in Nantucket, Massachusetts, affecting 1,700 students and their families. They've exposed the health records of over 3 million patients in California, and they have shuttered all 4 of Dole's food production plants in the United States, halting food shipments to grocery stores and disrupting our already vulnerable supply chain. That's just in the last 3 months. Let's do the last 24 hours. Just yesterday, we learned that ransomware attackers stole sensitive investigative information from the U.S. Marshals Service. Now, according to FinCEN, in the first half of 2021 alone, ransomware attackers likely received $5.2 billion, that's in half a year, in payments from American businesses, hospitals, school systems, and public utilities. Before 2016, the majority of cybercrime attacks involved small-scale credit fraud and bank fraud. Ransom payments ranged from about $75 to about $750. Today, the average ransomware attacker demands about $5 million.
Inflation.
Now,
man.
Mr. Singh, you're an expert on international economics and national security. These large-scale attacks and large ransom payouts, would they be possible without crypto?
No, Senator. I think digital assets are central to the business model of ransomware.
Okay.
By the way, this guy right here, Dalip Singh, he was an advisor to Joe Biden and helped with these sanctions that they put on Russia, okay? So this is supposed to be a hearing on sanctions, whether they're working, what they need to do moving forward, capping the oil. Someone said this can't be from the same hearing. It is. It's literally from the same hearing. You can go watch it yourself, okay? Let's keep watching.
And in fact, do you know what proportion of ransomware attacks are paid off by crypto?
Must be close to 100%.
They're exactly right. Right at 100%. The most active ransomware gangs are affiliated with or based in Russia, North Korea, and Iran. Now, Mr. Singh, does that put our national security at risk?
Absolutely.
So,
See what she's
thank
doing.
you. In fact, in 2021, about 3/4 of all ransomware revenues, that's now measured in billions and billions of dollars, 3/4 of it went to Russia-linked ransomware gangs. In the years since Russia invaded Ukraine, Russian criminal organizations have doubled down on using crypto to hold American businesses, American schools, American hospitals hostage. Some have even declared allegiance to Vladimir Putin, vowing, quote, to strike back at critical infrastructures of Russia's enemies. And just last week, a Russia-affiliated ransomware gang called Black Cat attacked 13 hospitals in eastern Pennsylvania. So, Mr. Singh, I have one more question for you.
Crypto's
You
dangerous.
helped craft the sanctions that our country imposed on Russia and that you were just talking about with Senator Vance. You helped craft this in response to the Ukraine invasion. Is crypto allowing Russian ransomware gangs to extort American businesses and potentially evade those sanctions?
Senator, I don't believe it's allowing for the evasion of sanctions at scale, but even $1 of evasion is not something we ought to tolerate.
Even $1 is not we're going to tolerate, yet we're going to go after crypto. Even $1. Even $1.
I think as I reflect upon the experience, one of the efforts we made in parallel was to launch the executive order on digital asset regulation and also trying to push our government to launch a digital dollar, which I think is the single best step that we could take because it would crowd out the ecosystem of crypto that allows national security adversaries like Russia to exploit our deficiencies, our weaknesses in terms.
Guys, that is why, quote, he said, the digital dollar will crowd out the crypto space. This is a guy who was advising President Joe Biden. This is a guy who was advising President Joe Biden.
In terms of our critical infrastructure. And yes, I think to some extent, we won't know exactly for sure to evade the impact of our sanctions.
So actually, let me just drill down just a little bit on this. In March 2022, FinCEN issued an advisory warning about Russian attempts to evade sanctions. The guidance said, and I'm going to quote, sanctioned persons, illicit actors, and their related networks or facilitators may attempt to use crypto and anonymizing tools to evade U.S. sanctions and protect their assets around the globe, end quote. And in September 2021, OFAC issued an advisory highlighting the sanctions risks associated with ransomware payments. And if I'm not mistaken, you were serving in the White House at this time. Do you agree with these statements from FinCEN and OFAC?
Yeah, I do.
Good. You know, crypto is being used to hold American businesses for ransom. It's being used to threaten American towns. It's being used to evade American sanctions. And it's being used to enrich America's adversaries. We have got to stop helping these guys by letting crypto go unchecked. Senator Roger Marshall and I are reintroducing our crypto anti-money laundering bill to protect our nation from ransomware attacks by stopping the flow of dirty money.
Man, I got so much to say about it.
Can I real quick just, I have some things pulled up here. So I'm like, all right, I know kind of know
when you
want to
unleash the rant, you just let me know.
Okay, we're going to unleash the rant here soon, my friend. So this is from spiceworks.com. What is ransomware? What is ransomware? Just in case you wanted to know, a ransomware attack is a form of malware attack in which an attacker seizes the user's data, folders, or entire device until a ransom fee is paid. Ransomware attack exploits the open security vulnerabilities by infecting a PC or network with a phishing attack or malicious websites. This form of attack takes advantage of system networks and system users and exploits software vulnerabilities to infect and hijack the victim's device. Then I find this from the FBI, FBI.gov. Tips for avoiding ransomware. The best way to avoid being exposed to ransomware or any type of malware is to be a cautious and conscientious computer user. Why is crypto being blamed for people being stupid enough to click dumbass links or phishing links? You can rant now. Go ahead. I'll leave this on. Just in case you guys want to know. I didn't want to pass this on to Elizabeth Warren and the school district in Pennsylvania and the U.S. Marshal. If anyone wants to clip this
outside of that, like, you would need to, obviously having fail safes for, because humans are going to be human. They're always going to click on links. That's, there's no shortage of people that have came out and said, hey, I clicked on this link and my wallet was connected. And,
when people get drunk, Robin, they use cars to drive. Cars need to be regulated, man.
So, I think if you were trying to address the issue of ransomware, you need to address the security and the fail safes. Not address the means of payment that one, entity prefers to get paid in. Crime is not new. Ransom is not new. And this has been going on since the dawn of time. Ransom, before there was computers, there were kidnappings for ransom. It's not that all of a sudden crime is here for the simple fact that crypto is here. You know what? It's a better form of payment, and criminals use it. Sure, yeah, that's part of the game. You can't unleash a new monetary system. You can't have private money going out that goes against government money and not expect bad people to use it. If everybody uses it, everybody uses the dollar. Good people use the dollar, bad people use the dollar. Drug dealers use dollars, business people use dollars. if you're going to have a widely accepted form of currency, it's going to be used for good and evil. Just that's how it is. Now, as far as Elizabeth Warren, though, man, that lady, man.
Bro, you tease us for the rant. I want to hear it, bro.
Yeah,
I want to hear it. Tell me how you feel, man.
Man,
I hate her. I'm sorry. I don't like. I hate her.
The thing is the problem. The core problem here is that the U.S. is trying to weaponize their money. They're trying to stop foreign countries from having any kind of transaction, right? And so this whole sanction thing is why we're in this mess in the first place, is that you want everybody on the globe to use the dollar until somebody on the globe doesn't line up with your political views. And so you have countries like China, Iran, and Russia who we drop sanctions and trade embargoes or whatever it is, and they have no means of doing business in our dollar. So they have to go to another currency. Now, do you want them to set up their own monetary system and trade off of it? We've talked about the BRIC system. Sure, that's one avenue. Or they can use crypto. Or they can trade amongst themselves in a different currency. At the end of the day, the result is exactly what you don't want. You want global adoption of your currency because you want to be the world reserve currency. You want everybody to use the dollar. You want the dollar to be the strongest monetary system out there. So any threat to the dollar is going to be competition. But if you kick people out of your network, don't get mad when they use a different competition. Don't break up with your girlfriend and then get mad when she starts dating somebody else. It's that damn simple. You want everybody to use the dollar, you don't want anybody to use crypto, then don't put any restrictions on the dollar.
But their point is, if crypto doesn't exist, then there's nothing else they can use, which is not true.
Crime will always exist in crypto. You know what? And you know what? Criminals, they show you that if you want to circumvent the government, you can. It is the best example of that. Now, let's just imagine you're not facilitating ransomware attacks. Let's just say you're just a regular ass dude that spoke up against, some injustices in the political party, like just say in Canada or in other nations. And now you have the rights to protect your own monetary value, your own money you saved up, your own checking account, your own hard-earned money. You can protect it. You could protect that by keeping it away from the government. And so what this just shows you with ransomwares is that, hey, I can participate in my own way without the government intervening. They can't do anything about it because it's private and they can't touch it. And if anything, that's a beautiful thing, man. And you know what? It comes with downsides. Sure. You could build a car, like you said, it comes with downsides. There's car accidents. You could build a plane, for example. Sure, there's downsides. Carbon footprint, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? There's downsides to all new technology. But where bad comes in, more good comes out. We can say that our planet is a better place because we got airplanes and cars. And our planet is going to be a better place when we don't have manipulation by governments to get reelected by printing money and debasing value. And then every time there's a new agenda that a politician, every time a president comes up, a presidential candidate is like, hey, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you this. You know what that just means? That just means they're going to print a ton of money to push their agenda forward. And they're going to make you slightly less valuable, right? Debasing you as a citizen. They're debasing you, man. And this is just the frustrations of the government seeing that people are tired and fed up of the dollar and they're going to go elsewhere. And that's it, bro. What else could it be? She doesn't actually care about the ransomware. She cares about the dollar, right? You think she actually cares? Do you think she took time to go to those hospitals she talked about? No. She took time to sit down with the banking heads, with JP Morgan Chase. She took time to sit down with the central bank and said, hey, man, we got competition. We need somebody to stand up and fight against that. And that's the elected official. That is the devil.
If that Elizabeth Warren's 5-minute clip doesn't prove to you that they are out, they're gunning for us, for crypto, I don't know what else will. That legislation she's talking about reintroducing, that was the one that everyone was in arms about, right? Up in arms. It would make everyone a broker, right? So if you're a miner, if you're a software developer, if you are MetaMask, you have to KYC everyone.
And then we had a super chat, right?
Yeah. Kazuma. He's giving us the alpha.
Yeah.
The Robin Dave, bro, all these new coins, Web3 stuff, gaming tokens, all people have to do, bag up as much as they can. The summer it'll moon and the FUD.
And I mean, even if the thing is the U.S. government is the world reserve currency. And with that said, you do have politicians like this. And there is a bad taste across the board in crypto, outside of the crypto circles. There's a bad connotation to it. And honestly, man, I don't know, man. I would play it safe because you never know what's coming down the pipeline. You never know what bill will get introduced and get pushed through. And remember, if government can't pass a bill, you can sign an executive order. Just saying, bro. So don't think that it's impossible that we get some stifling regulation coming down the pipeline for the U.S. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the U.S. is more progressive on crypto in its entirety, minus the corporate sector, minus the SEC allowing corporations to use it and exchanges to operate freely. They're putting the brakes on that. But crypto in general is widely accepted as okay if you want to personally invest in it as a retail investor. That's cool. Yes, sure. But man, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be so far out of left field if there was some massive regulation that came down the pipeline and it just set crypto back a few years, man. I'm just saying it's a possibility. And you know, I mean, I'm all in on crypto. Me and David here, we're all in. Rocco, Kyler, we're all in on crypto. You know, we're here with the studio. Like, you don't get much more all in on this. But I'll be honest with you, I'm ready.
Vacations have been canceled.
I'm ready that if crypto goes to the dark ages because of some stupid ass regulation,
we're moving or what?
No, we ain't moving. We're gonna keep doing this channel.
Yeah, but
it's gonna be called the dark, the Dark Sin City crypto.
We're gonna move up to Portugal. We're gonna move to China.
That's right,
China. Or El Salvador. Guys, just to end this topic here, I would like to go back to the FBI. Here are some tips for avoiding ransomware. Be cautious. Keep your operating system software current. Make sure antivirus is installed. It's very important. Back up your data. Secure those backups. And then make sure to have something in place to where if this does happen for some reason, that you'll be fine.
And pray.
And pray.
And pray everything.
So to all the people that like to drink and drive, if you want to stop causing accidents, all you have to do is just don't drink and drive, or if you're going to drink, don't drive.
Or just don't drive, period.
Yes, or just don't drive.
Thank you. Take the bus.
Let's move on. We have some update on Voyager for you guys. If you were affected by Voyager, actually, never mind. I don't know if people want to. I don't know if people are comfortable. Anyways, so from CoinDesk, some I guess some kind of good news and also some kind of very bad news. Crypto lender Voyager says majority of customers voted for the restructuring plan with the buyout from Binance. Voyager said Tuesday night that 97% of its customers, representing 98% of total claims, voted in favor of Chapter 11 restructuring, under which Binance.us will acquire some of their assets. Company will appear at a bankruptcy hearing on Thursday, where its attorneys will seek court approval for the restructuring plan.
It would have been nice if they would have asked their customers if they could take a massive unsecured or give out a massive unsecured loan. Hey guys, customers, do you feel comfortable giving out $400 million to FTX? And we're not going to hold any collateral. Let's take a vote. And if we don't get paid back,
that was collateral. The 3AC was not collateral. Wasn't Scott Melker the one that was on our show saying that Stephen Ehrlich was literally calling people and saying, can we give you this $600 million? Right?
Yeah.
Someone said that on our show, which I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scott Melker, just tweeted this. So we know Celsius is doing retail clawbacks, and apparently so is Voyager. With Voyager likely going after retail clawbacks, it may be worth organizing the community similar to Celsius. And Scott Melker tweeted this. People who are lucky enough to have withdrawn from funds from Voyager for the 90 days preceding bankruptcy could potentially be on the hook for clawbacks, meaning they have to return the funds even if they don't have them. You know, everyone gives Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, so much crap. And I understand he's got a fiery personality, and it's not for everyone, right? Ben's got a little bit of an ego, and he'll tell you he does. And it's not for everyone. I get it. But it's so infuriating that these companies, like if I'm like us, right? Here at Sin City Crypto, we were talking about Voyager about 2 weeks before it went down. Like, hey, some things are off. Get your coins off. There we had one person, I haven't seen her in a while. I believe her name was Sarah. She came back the next day after Voyager filed for bank, or Voyager turned off, and said, I pulled my money out 2 days ago. And now that person who does her research, who pays attention, who did the right thing and took her money off, now they're going to go after her and her money. It's such BS, dude. Like, I can understand the idea of insiders knowing what's going on, taking all of it back, right? Taking all their money off and leaving everyone high and dry. I can understand that. Do that for the employees. Do that for the executives. Why do it for Sarah, for the average person that had money on there that was smart enough to realize something is wrong and pull their money out?
Or
Right?
how about the guy that just took his money off because he
needed money to pay his bills.
Yeah. He was like, hey, man, I need a down payment on my car. And it sounds about a good time. Next thing you know, you got regulators knocking on your door. Hey, we need that money back. What do you mean? Well, you took it out prematurely. It was about to go to bankruptcy. Well, I took it out because I needed to buy a car. I'm like, well, bad timing.
You know,
remember, guys, this was a company with commercials with ads that was
misled customers.
That was promoted by Mark Cuban, that had ads on the arenas, that was available in the U.S., based in Canada, publicly traded and listed on Canadian Stock Exchange. And yeah, I listened to some of these other sources, and they're just like, hey man, yeah, nothing is too big to fail. FTX and Voyager, it is,
unless you're backed by the federal government.
Yeah, and nothing. Like, and even banks, like you go back to 2008, it was like 30% of banks went under. Now the big ones got bailed out, but a lot of these smaller banks got, forced to close. And so nothing's too big to fail, man. Not even the U.S. government. At some point, we keep we keep freaking kicking this can.
Crypto too big to fail, bro.
We're too small right now.
We're too small to fail.
You're too small to fail. Exactly. Where are we gonna fall? Fall right back on this little red couch that Kyler's sitting on. That's right.
That couch is so uncomfortable. Yeah. Well, it's got horsehair in it, apparently. Right, Robin? That's what
it is filled with horsehair.
Lady said. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty cool, man. Vegas is not a lot of culture, right? As soon as something's over 10, 15 years old, they break it down. They tear it down, they build something new.
Well, the culture is, Vegas is almost like a mini U.S., right? And so the U.S. is just full of immigrants from all around the world, while Vegas is full of transplants from other cities.
You call me an immigrant? I am an immigrant, actually.
Yeah. So I know when I kept running into these degens, these people that just, they come here without wanting to do any real work, and they're just, anyways, I used to have this fun saying, I was like, hey man, Vegas is just full of people that couldn't make it in their own town, and we're like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to Vegas, and so yeah, and
then we're gonna find our best friend.
Right. It's like the newest gold rush.
We're gonna give him a damn. Kazuma's just straight dropping super chat after super chat.
Damn, man. So hit it big on that Solana.
Robin David's main problem: YouTube. Too many people shilling coins that are on illegal or criminal exchanges. They enter with mind of making 100x and they get rugged or scammed. No one says anything. We try to keep it as realistic as possible. Yeah, there are sure there's some investments you can make 100x, but we're not going to talk about those because those you would you got to get lucky unless you're I don't know. How could you forecast adoption? How could you forecast people using it? How could you forecast people onboarding on it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's never hopium. It's never hey, tune in and we're gonna shill this token or that. No.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any sponsors. Here's the thing: we will get sponsors eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say we're so high and mighty. We're not. Yeah, when in due time. But I'll tell you what: we're never gonna scam anybody. We're never gonna promote something that we're not confident in, and that's kind of all the reason why we haven't even picked up a sponsor yet.
There is
we
one
haven't seen
person that reached out that we might actually link up with. Pretty cool. And we'll. I'm not gonna give details, but it's a crypto art. It's not a token or anything. It's just a person from our community that runs a business. And so, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Mount GOX. Creditors may finally start seeing their Bitcoins this month. This is sourced from The Block.
I feel like I've seen this article before.
No, they're actually starting. Mt. Gox creditors will see starting their first Bitcoin payments this month as the window for repayments is set to open. They're expected to reap their early repayments as early as March. This is for the first tranche of repayments, including early lump sum and intermediate payments, with further amounts set to come later. This is a quote from Adam Back, CEO of Blockstream. Well, for myself, I'd pretty much written off the Bitcoin I still had on Mt. Gox in 2014 as a loss. So philosophically, anything I get back now is a bonus to store, to cold store. You think a majority of these creditors are going to have this mindset, Robin? Oh man, amazing! I got it back. I'm just going to leave it in cold storage.
Man. I mean, it's been long enough, right? I mean, it's been 9 years. And so I think at this point, you've kind of, if you've been holding your breath for 9 years, waiting and relying on that and like, it's coming. I'm sure there's some people like that, but can't be that many people, man.
I know this is really off topic, but can I ask you a couple of things? Jimmy said, hey, I am a sponsor. He's kind of right. He is a sponsor. Jimmy's pretty much a sponsor. And Jimmy, we love you. You know, we got love for you, Jimmy. You know, you single-handedly sometimes pay the bills, some of the bills here. So thank you. Also, what if Sweet Baby Ray's offered us a sponsorship? Rocco, would you be okay with that? The maker of the barbecue sauce.
No, I have a mixed.
You do have a vote. You are a company owner.
It's probably a no.
Would your vote be no? It's probably a no.
Yeah. If we're going to have a barbecue sauce sponsor, it needs to be a real barbecue. You know,
I got to test them first.
I'm from Virginia, man. Sweet Baby Ray's ain't nothing but corn syrup and food coloring and
molasses.
Yeah. And I don't even think there's any molasses. It's just straight corn
French
syrup.
fries. You can't have ketchup. What are you using? You got to use a condiment.
How about just
No,
just
you can't.
salt?
You can't.
Just eat them straight up,
You need
bro.
a condiment and you can't use ketchup. What are you using?
Why do
just
you
pick one?
Why do you always got to use sauces on everything? Why don't you just
say this
appreciate it for
restaurant will
what it
only
is,
let you
bro?
Eat ketchup with fries with sauce.
Make a marinara from scratch.
Marinara. What the fuck?
You make a marinara from scratch. You buy the tomato. You boil it in a big tank.
I'm not saying I
Who eats
don't.
French fries
I'm not
with
saying that
marinara?
I don't like French fries.
Ketchup. Ketchup is tomato based, but it's not. It's
I know.
You say any condiment.
I like barbecue sauce, man. I'm sorry. I ate my fries with barbecue sauce. So good.
With the fries?
Yeah.
No way.
So good, bro. So good. All right.
Your palate is just blown out, bro.
You said ranch.
Like,
and,
would you be able to eat a whole piece of celery, or would you just throw up on yourself? I'm just
I don't
curious.
like
Vegetable, not enough flavor.
Reed said mayo.
Pass me the barbecue sauce.
Disgusting, bro. Mayo.
Pizza, not enough flavor. Give me the barbecue sauce.
A1, man. That's
Dorito don't got enough flavor. Hand me the Pop Rocks. Dip it in there.
They don't have to be Pop Rocks. Just a regular rocks. Give me a rock.
Bro, what are you talking about? Are you all right?
Oh,
man. They got to eat Doritos and yogurt at the same time.
Bro, hey, look, man. Doritos and yogurt fire, bro.
And yogurt.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Doritos, Cool Ranch. You take the bag, shake it upside down so all the powder falls. You take some good Greek yogurt like Faye.
Oh, it's gotta be
0%
Greek.
fat. Yes.
Okay, make sure they're
Faye,
Greek.
0% fat, bro. I'm telling you,
this
game
is David
changer.
right here at the breakfast table.
That was a good movie, man.
It's perfect. I love it.
He's on the phone. Robin, he's like, I'm having breakfast. I'll be in the studio shortly. You want me to bring you some breakfast?
Chiquita hot sauce. You mean Cholula hot sauce? Chiquita's the one that makes the bananas. Where is this stream going here?
Yeah.
No idea. We're done.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh, boom. Okay, hold on, guys. Just somebody dropped the nuke.
That's funny. Jimmy, $100 super chat. Sponsor fee. I want my name behind the wall. Dave Wall has too much texture. He wants his name behind the wall.
When you come visit, we're having people sign the wall now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you come
put your name on the
visit.
wall.
He can get his name behind the wall?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we got AJ's name over there.
I was talking about behind your wall.
No, not behind my wall.
Damn, that's messed up, bro. What does Jimmy have to do to get his picture on the wall?
I don't know. Pictures on the stream right here. Look.
By the building.
Jimmy, we love you.
There's
my
his picture
friend.
right
We
there.
love all of you. Someone mentioned something about Discord. Our Discord link is in the description of this video, as are a lot of other links. You want to support Sin City, there's tons of ways you can do it. Also, another person, someone else did send us some Bitcoin via our Bitcoin address. Like the third one over the last 3 weeks. So thank you guys. Keeps the lights on. We appreciate it. Also, go check out our social medias. Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. Go check out our Instagram. Go check out our TikToks. Go buy yourself some Sin City merchandise. If you're a whale member, who needs a Rocco? Who needs a 10% discount? Biomex? Biomex. If you're a whale member, you get 10% off the entire store, whether it's Sin City merch or just regular merch. Is your lady's birthday coming up?
And also a couple of new people. We had Stick, Crypto Freedom. We also had Randomness and Zachariah. Hola! Welcome. Sin City Crypto.
With that being said, Rocco. Friends, family, friends, and family of friends, we thank you so much for spending the middle of your week here with us at Sin City Crypto. On behalf of myself, Robin, Rocco, and Kyler, we love you. We will see you tomorrow. We have a very special guest joining us from the VC world. If you want to tune in, we'll see you tomorrow, please. I really like today's one more.